to confuse the public about science, to confuse scientists about science. What about...
I'm dying to see what America's going to do to this. I'll use my favorite word again, clusterfuck, 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 clusterfuck.
It's a trap! It actually is a trap. It's a trap!
Science is back. And I choose science over fiction. And so if the science is demonstrated it's doing great damage, then I don't care what it does to a small business person who's selling this stuff. If it is damaging lungs, if it's causing the kind of damage that is said, and that study's not been fully done yet, if it turns out that it is, then I would eliminate it. I would make it, I would go after it in a hard way. I would make it broader, not just for he is.
If we get asked a specific question by a teen, either a direct message to us or via social media about the relative harms of vaping versus cigarettes, we try to be as clear as possible that if your comparator is a cigarette, vaping is less harmful.
In England, the Royal College of Physicians has apparently done a great deal of research on e-cigarettes, and they have actually found that compared to smoking cigarettes, the rate of damage from e-cigarettes is 5% of what it is from smoking traditional cigarettes. You're reducing the damage by 95%. Hey, I don't think vaping or e-cigarettes are good for you. But if you have to choose between smoking and vaping, I happen to feel that vaping is safer. I don't think vaping is good for you, but it's better than smoking.
We're going to choose science over fiction.
And FDA has not used that terminology to use the most recent estimates of youth use. I will say that I'm an epidemiologist by training, so I'm fully cognizant of the definition of an epidemic, which is unprecedented increases over what you'd expect at baseline. That said, I think and know that the science has shown a decline in the number of youth users, and that's a good thing.
The FDA today calling it a dangerous epidemic.
The FDA calls teen vaping an epidemic.
Epidemic?
I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated.
Vaping is not as harmful as smoking. Kids are kids, and there's many, many, many reasons why they choose to do different types of things.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
That is a very catchy tune in that video. But hello and welcome to the show. I'm sure that y'all will tell me if my microphone is not working good, because you guys are prone to doing that. But hello and welcome. The lovely Janine Timmons is in the chat tonight. She's been blowing us off recently and not hanging out with us, but Jason likes everybody to know that he was first. That's what he says after having sex with his wife every time. But hey, Michelle is here as well. That's the lovely Southern Vapor, and lots of other people. I'm scrolling. Mallory's here. Toasty's here. Jason is here. James is here. Raj is here. Dale is here. And yes, Dale, this is a mechanical mod in my pocket. But look at that. And Addie, the wonderful Addie, is in the chat room as well. So I think that's enough. I think everybody you have a dirty mind, young lady. That's not exactly what I was talking about. Thank you very much. But we're going to talk about some stuff tonight. I did an interesting, every week Victor's here as well. I do it like a little Google thing to find the things to talk about because I want to help you. So I do a Google, and there is something that is not in the show notes that is quite disturbing that I'm going to show you later on, and it's gonna raise the hackles. We talked about AI being used to create misinformation last week. Just keep that in mind. But Kevin is here. He's in the back room. Let's get him up here and say hello to him.
You listen to me now. I sat here for about 3 minutes, and I thought, well, where's my vape? So I proved to you people just now, to myself, that I'm more addicted to my coffee because I have 3 cups of coffee sitting here, but I didn't have a vape. So there you go.
But you have one. You have one now, though, right?
I did. I walked back out there and I said, I proved my point to my wife, and she's like, "Go back in your room. Leave me alone."
Go away, she says. Go away.
Go on now. Go talk to them idiots.
Are you sure she didn't mean idiot and just me? Because our friends are not idiots. I mean, I'll take one for the team.
I'm stopping even trying to explain it to her. She knows you're an idiot. So I want everybody to hydrate. Start off hydrating because it's going to get hot in here. I've already had my NyQuil. I'm in no mood for you.
NyQuil? You're going to fall asleep halfway through the show.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. So when I say fuck it, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed.
You know, I was thinking about you this morning, Kevin, which is
really
on the way to work. I stop at my normal little drive-through coffee place.
Yeah.
Because they charge like $3 for 32-ounce coffee.
No.
And I stop and get my 32-ounce coffee, and the guy's like, by the way, today we're running a special, buy one, get one free.
Woohoo!
So I started my day off with 64 ounces of coffee. So I'm not going to be sleeping at all. No, I actually can drink that if I'm right to sleep.
But I'm just warning you. When I say I'm done, I'm done. I got the heebie-jeebies from the boy, I think.
Yeah, I got the
a little scratchy.
I pulled out the old-fashioned old man like vape sir pipe. I have the pipe tonight.
I tried.
I'm gonna be a gentleman.
Actually tried a pipe to try to quit smoking a little bit, and it didn't work. I liked it, but it wasn't doing me. No, couldn't do it.
Yeah. Victor. So I'm being all like weird tonight. So I got that one out, and I got the little tiny 18350.
Oh my god!
Calibri mod from Russia.
Did you change perceptions here, directions? What are you doing?
I'm on the new computer.
You're over in the corner now. Okay.
I figured out why the computer was being all goofy on me the last time.
Yeah.
Because I have a third monitor set up, but it's going through a dock. And I was trying to share stuff on that screen over there, which I can't do, but I have the backstage stuff running on that screen now. So no memory problems, no issues. So it was just because I was trying to use this one as a working monitor instead of just having the backstage stuff running over there. So the Rumble stuff is over here right now. So
and for the record, as far as tech goes, I think I've crashed once since the switch from I Hate Spectrum to Metronet.
Oh.
I think it's done it with us once or twice. I've had real problem.
Now,
and tonight I did not restart my computer. I just came right in here just raw.
Don't say bad things about your internet provider in the middle of the show, Kevin.
I like Metronet. I hate Spectrum. I despise Spectrum.
Just making sure that you are aware of that. But
so
I found some interesting stuff after the show notes that is going to be stuff that I probably can't talk about on the YouTubes. So we are going to share that over there, but it is globalist control of social media stuff that definitely can't say it on this channel because on the YouTubes, because that would definitely.
Are we going to point fingers?
Yes. So Jason, on a condenser mic, you're actually supposed to talk into the side of the mic and not the tip of the mic. I'm just letting you know that. Supposedly.
Where am I supposed to put mine?
So like I did this before, last week, 2 weeks ago, when I tried to talk on the mic, and they said that it sounded better when I was going into the side of the mic. So that was why we did that.
1, 2, 3.
Yes. So like I have to redo this because now I'm gonna be like, Kevin, I don't want the tennis racket in front of my face.
Oh hell, I'd rather just sit like this all night. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. They don't need to see my dumb ass.
The mic needs to spin a little. No, I'm just like this. I don't know. I mean, you can hear me, can't you? I mean,
it's a birdie mic.
I'm talking really quietly. Can you hear me now? I'll do some of that ASMR stuff.
Stop whispering in my damn ear. What have I told you about that?
There's no room echo, I promise. It's a very small room.
I have no carpet. Should be echoes all over the place in here, but there isn't.
And my mic stand's gonna like tilt on me and stuff. Is that better, Jason? Are you okay now? Does that sound better? All right.
Okay. Jason's happy. Who's next?
All right. I swear to God, these people, Kevin. All the things that I do for these people, and they give me such a hard time.
I love these people.
I swear.
Maybe the echo's mine. I don't know.
Echo. So anyway, Kev,
what?
You send me some links. You know, like you always do. You send me links, and we're just gonna go top to bottom, except for the tweets. I put all the tweets again together, and I did not tell you. I did not show you the tweet that is my tweet of the week. You have no idea,
fucker,
because it's just the way it is.
all right. Well,
it's a secret until you see it. Oh, I can't keep bending. I gotta do that. But see what happens. See what happens, Kevin. It gets all cattywampus and stuff, and then it starts.
Did you say she's in the States and she hasn't visited us yet?
I don't imagine she's as far south as Texas.
I'm in Ohio. That's all I can say.
So Homicidal is just showed up as well.
Oh
yeah. See, all the people decide to show up at the last minute. But anyway, in the links that you sent, the very first and best one that you sent.
Best one. You chose the best one.
Well, because it's got our friend Dr. Glover on it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I said it's the best one. There's almost no other ex-tobacco control person that has converted to our way of thinking that I like better than her. So Kevin, I'm kind of mad because these people, I don't even know who ecigclick is, and I have an aversion. Now. I have an aversion to this whole idea of vape. Maybe that's why they don't invite me to talk to them.
They invited me.
That's why I'm. That's the bone of contention. So
last week, in fact,
I know I did watch it and I did read it,
but I plugged us.
I did. I was appreciative that you did in fact mention that half of your fame comes from being on my show.
That's right. Calm down. Jesus. You're so vain.
I never get.
Every time Patrick's feelings get hurt, you drink.
I never get invited to do these end of the year prediction things because they know I'm 100% accurate, and every time I've predicted something that's happened. But anyway. So this says Dr. Marewa Glover chats to ecigclick.
Skips
THR. See, she's got this THR superstar thing. This is pretty cool. Time for another THR superstar is what this says. It says here, this series of interviews is to celebrate people working hard to promote tobacco harm reduction and stand up for those of us who want and need safer nicotine products. This week, it is Dr. Marewa Glover, who is a wonderful advocate for tobacco harm reduction and Indigenous people in New Zealand and worldwide. So She even won awards for her work, including reaching the final of the New Zealander of the Year Supreme Award in 2019. Of course, if you are on X or Twitter, you will see her hard work for yourself. She regularly posts related studies, plus her appearances at conferences and in the media, and previously on multiple episodes of Son of Liberty Radio. So she has here Professor Marewa Glover. Great first day of SCOHREO org No Smoke Summit 23. Tomorrow I will be a part of a panel with David Sweener and Konstantinos Farsalinos. And who's Nanny Free State, Kevin? Who is that? I could hover, I guess.
Shit, see, now you asked me, I don't know.
It doesn't tell me if I hug her. It's what's his name?
He in fact is one of you guys knows. He was under a different name for quite a while.
Yeah.
Dockrell. Oh, Martin Cullip.
Martin Cullip. Okay. All right. I just know that's like the flag is like Switzerland. Is that Switzerland?
I don't know.
It's a blue flag with a white cross. Anyway, and Fernando Bueno. So there's the poster of all the people. I could have just scrolled down, I guess.
Well, then see, there you go.
And seen the pictures of everything, but I didn't.
Too many handles.
Didn't. So there's all these tweets from our wonderful friend, the lovely Dr. Glover. So it says here, my first job at 13 years old involved getting up at 4 a.m. to help my dad deliver milk. You know, when I was a kid, Kevin, my dad always said that my brother and I weren't his kids because he looked like the garbage man's kid and I looked like the milkman's kid.
I as well had a milkman. In fact, he took me to school a couple times, and I called him Dad once in a while because I don't know.
And at this point, after having 51 years and I had 18 years under my dad's roof, I would be glad if I was the milkman's kid. But anyway. By 15, I was living with my mom, her husband, and my two younger sisters in a outback city in Australia. Luckily, I went to boarding school during the week. On the weekends, I did waitressing in our hotel dining room, sometimes housekeeping, cleaning rooms, and occasionally I had to mop the public bar floor and gross toilets. At 2 a.m., I began my first real full-time job at 16. After several years of some horrid experiences with some screwed up people, I thought I could help by becoming a psychologist, so I began a Bachelor of Arts that got me started in community health. And there's a tweet here, seeing Fearless Girl in Melbourne today, quite triggering, as reminded of my child self standing up to my abusive father, stepfather, and all the men and mostly male colleagues who have tried to destroy me, and they're still firing off their defamatory emails and op-eds. I hope she doesn't think that about us, Kevin, because we are dudes. We are men's, and we would never, ever, 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 ever say a horrible thing to or about our friend Marewa. No. It says here, I then did a master's of social science, majoring in psychology, and simultaneously a diploma in community psychology. This led to working as a policy analyst in public health, which is when I committed my career to reducing smoking-related morbidity and mortality. To be taken seriously, however, I realized I needed a PhD, so I went back to university. In 2001, I graduated as a behavioral scientist, the first person in New Zealand to do a doctorate in smoking cessation. Thus far, I have worked on helping people to stop smoking for 24 years. So here's the Q&A section where they ask questions and she answers, Kevin. Mm-hmm. It says here, have you smoked? And if so, how long did you smoke? And she says, I smoked rarely with school friends from 13. From 16, once working full time, I smoked daily. I developed chronic bronchitis after only 5 or 6 years and was probably told by a doctor to quit. After a bit of start, I managed to stop permanently. Good for her. Do you vape? If so, when did you start? I tried vaping without nicotine just to understand it better. Well, why? Yeah, I mean, I know that we don't want to demonize people that vape that never smoke, Kevin, but, you know, I mean, I get it that she tried it just without nicotine, just to see, get the experience and stuff. But, if you're off the nicotine and you don't need it and it's not helping you, then there's no reason to start.
Right.
How did vaping / tobacco harm reduction change your life? She says, vaping has changed my life, not because I vape, but because I became an advocate for vaping to reduce smoking-related diseases and associated deaths more rapidly. For 10 years previous, I was involved with End Smoking New Zealand, and we had been lobbying for Swedish snus to be adopted as a harm reduction option in New Zealand. We didn't get snus. So when vaping came along, we investigated that and became the first group in New Zealand to start lobbying for vaping. I could not have predicted how vicious and underhanded the New Zealand and Australian tobacco control prohibitionists would be towards me. That what they began was textbook mobbing. Their goal was to get rid of me and to make sure I would never work on smoking ever again. And they did. They, remember, Kevin, they did get her booted off of Twitter for like a whole year.
Isn't that scary that she's such a threat? Little old Dr. Glover, just tiny little old doctor. I can't imagine she's more than 5 feet tall. I don't know. And they scared. They just scared her.
They're afraid of her brain, Kevin. I mean, physically, they can't be afraid of her physically. I mean, she's quite attractive, but she's definitely not a physical, violent person, from what I understand or what I can see.
I don't know. I don't think so.
But they must be afraid of her brain because she's way more intelligent than most of them.
There you go. There you go.
So anyway, there's a tweet here. She's tagging Jean-Francois Eder. Says here, Jean-Francois Eder talk on Smoke Free Foundation. ESIG Summit include detail on harassment and exclusion of grantees, including me. Many of his challenges for FSFW difficult. Smoke Free World. That's not. They haven't changed the name yet, Kevin. Difficult to address if people who associate are bullied not to collaborate / advise. He called for stronger condemnation of bullying. Yes. It's when they can't win, Kevin, they try to get you canceled.
Oh, absolutely.
And they, like I said, they got her banned for a whole year. So yeah.
Yep.
Kevin, what would you do tomorrow if you woke up in the morning and you got on your social medias and Twitter said you are no longer allowed to use our platform, yada yada yada?
Well,
how would you do what you do without Twitter?
I'd probably have to recreate another Twitter with one of my accounts that I'd have to figure out what the password is.
Kevin, you can't have sock puppet. You don't. Those don't exist. Shh. No. Shh.
Well, I'd feed all my tweets to you.
I mean, literally, though,
more intelligent that
but
way.
Then they kick me out too. But literally,
I thought a couple good ones out this week, by the way.
With the way the world works, I mean, really,
yeah.
Some of these organizations that we are battling do have clout with these social media companies.
They do.
And later on the Rumble show, the Rumble portion, I'm going to introduce you to a new organization that I had never heard of before.
Okay.
It is a globalist organization. And when I say globalist, I'm not putting the red hat thing on. I'm not one of those. But we're gonna look at their official website. This organization. I'm not gonna even say their name until we're over there because I'm afraid. Because their whole thing is controlling media.
Mm-hmm.
And taking people's power away who say things they disagree with.
See, I can't. I've had a couple times where I've heard or read, well, you shouldn't say that, and then I was like, okay, well, fuck you. How's that? So other than that, I haven't really had a whole lot of criticism on my tweets.
Right.
I was over the top once.
I mean,
and then there were a couple
other than Jerry. Nobody has ever Nobody's ever accused me of being like inappropriate on social media.
No,
I've never been blocked on Facebook, or not blocked. I mean, I've never lost my Facebook account. And I don't use it, but I've never been locked out of my Twitter account.
Let's be honest with each other. Neither of us. There's nowhere near the level of hate and snark that we could put out. We're toned so far down that people actually follow me and you, right? Because
you did notice, as angry as I was last week about that video clip that we played, I did not, like, I was very polite. Does anybody know this person? I didn't attack, and I purposefully tagged the trade organizations in that tweet because I said, it's better that they address this than me, because if I reach out to this guy, if I call the vape shop and ask to speak to this guy, I'm probably going to say something that would be construed as antisocial. I didn't say those words, but
yeah, we've toned ourselves so far. I'm an old cab driver. You can't shut me up, first of all, and I'm very polite compared to what I should or could be, and it isn't a brag. It's just Dale, you get a little out of hand because, God damn it, they won't shut up. They won't listen. They just keep blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's keep going here. However, there are some truly good and honorable people in the world. Horrified by what we see, a dean at another university employed me as an associate professor in public health. I was able to be promoted to professor. I could no longer get research funding to do anything on smoking due to the peer influence funding process in New Zealand. So I was effectively out of tobacco control, except for my voluntary role as chairperson of End Smoking New Zealand. My life changed when I was granted funding from Foundation for Smoke-Free World to start my own Center for Research Excellence, Indigenous Sovereignty, and Smoking. The tobacco control folk, who believed they had eliminated me, flew into a rage. Locally, they fired up the media to do so, hit pieces on me. They wrote screeds of unscientific ad hominem attack papers. They demanded that the Ministry of Health and other health groups blacklist me, and most did. What current projects, campaigns are you working on? She says, with my center established, I began an ambitious program of research looking at smoking prevalence among indigenous peoples worldwide. I trialed or funded some cessation interventions for Maori pregnant women who smoke. Then here's the piece. We've shown her graphics before. This is a paper that she wrote. Anyway, and she says, I began longitudinal qualitative study to identify the facilitators and barriers to stop smoking or switching to vaping among adults who didn't want to quit. And their stories can be followed at voicesofthe5%.New Zealand. We analyzed the rise in robberies of tobacco from retailers and much more. I mean, some of the stories on this website, I mean, we've looked at them on the show before, are quite powerful. People talking about not paying for their heat so that they can buy cigarettes. We've discussed ourselves, Kevin, when we had limited budgets, we would either choose to eat lunch or to buy a pack of cigarettes. So Janine says that they had Thai food for Thanksgiving. We had it's because it was just the two of us, the wife and I, this year. So we did Chinese fried chicken. There's a new restaurant here. This is how creative the restaurateurs are, though. The name of this restaurant is just called Whole Fried Chicken.
There you go.
And they get these little small chickens, maybe a 4-pound or lighter chicken, and they split the backbone and they kind of open it up a little bit and they batter the whole thing and just deep fry the whole thing.
Ooh.
And they have 3 different spices. Now they have a regular, which is just called golden, and then there's one. There's 5 different ones. The last one is black meteorite or black volcano or something like that, and it's so spicy the batter is almost black. Wow. And the wife says to me, "We should get that one." And I was like, "Woman, We get the one in the middle, the number 3 out of 5. And you can only eat like one wing before you say it's too spicy. If we buy that Blackbird, you're going to take one bite, and then I'm going to have to eat the rest of it. And for the next 2 days, every time I go to the bathroom, I'm going to be complaining. So we didn't do the black one. We did the Chinese 5-spice. It was quite good. It's quite good, Kevin. But anyway, let's see what else do we have here. What do you feel needs to change regarding tobacco harm reduction worldwide? Regulators rely on science to justify law change. Mostly rely on science to justify law changes. They are being misled about tobacco harm reduction. This manipulation is enacted primarily by academics who are anti-tobacco harm reduction. Some are ideologically driven, some are naive to the topic, some are just not very good researchers, and some are opportunists chasing funding and status.
That's a nice little bundle of words right there.
Yeah.
Really is. That last sentence, the last sentence, yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, one of the things that we're going to read towards the end of the show is exactly a person responsible for liaison between the government and researchers, admitting that they have to sort of filter science for the politicians.
Soak it and baste it and turn it over and flip it around and put it in the ass. Yeah, okay.
And well, I mean, and this is not specifically about vaping, but it's about another issue where there was some anti-science going on in the last few years. That I will not come out and say right away. To change this, academia worldwide needs to implement processes aimed at monitoring and stopping unprofessional and unethical behavior. Applications for research funding and proposed unfunded studies and papers should be assessed internally before being released into the world. Assessments should look for bias, including ideological bias, honesty, and to ensure the rationale is well-founded in robust science. The assessment needs to be done by independent scientific experts. And this should stop ad hominem attacks, scientifically flawed and weak work, and shabby writing. Yes, Kevin. So in the medical field where I work, everything is based on what we call evidence-based science. So we can't implement any changes into a medical protocol until we have a robust volume of science that shows that it would be beneficial to the patient.
Right.
So it's the same thing in this world. I mean, you should make sure that the strength of your science, confirms the necessity for the research.
The name shouldn't matter.
Yes.
The name at the top of the paper should be redacted until they've figured out whether it's valid or not, and then they should release it. Yeah. Just my opinion.
So any countries you feel are succeeding in tobacco harm reduction? And she says Sweden is the leading exemplar. Science, or Japan, Iceland, South Korea, New Zealand, and the UK, even the US, the latecomers to the match are the Philippines. But the Philippines is also improving somewhat from what I understand. At least they're not, as bad as they were under the last president, Duterte.
Right.
I could be wrong. I haven't, but anyway, what additional problems do indigenous people face when it comes to harm reduction? Is there a lot of health inequality? And she says about 476 million people live across 90 countries are indigenous. Their circumstances vary widely. There is very little data on smoking prevalence for most of them. Where data exists, mostly indigenous people have disproportionately higher smoking rates. And that's true. In the US and Australia, like regulators, many indigenous tribal groups are being misled about the vastly lower risk of tobacco harm reduction products compared with continuing to smoke. And then there are cultural biases and cultural differences because there are some Native American groups that, tobacco is sort of a religious requirement. They do use it in some of their practices.
A point to contend with of that is I've seen wording in the past year or so of commercial tobacco, and I think that's what they're referring to. Non-commercial would be indigenous using it for religious or other purposes.
Yeah.
Commercial would be everything else. So they're non-commercial. They don't care about that.
Mm-hmm. So Janine says that Canada actually authorized nicotine pouches. Shocker, she says, and she tried them on her for the first time on her flight, and they worked nicely.
Sweet.
So I'm reaching under my keyboard here. I got my snus. I got my can of snus right here. Yeah. So, we all know that I'm a big fan of those as well. And Jeffrey says that the vape bill in the Philippines even talks about harm reduction, which is a good thing. Yeah, that's great. Let's see. Let's go down to the next question. Oh no! If all Aboriginal services embraced vaping, their funding would be cut. If an Aboriginal person dared to advocate for tobacco harm reduction, they will receive the same treatment I did. The Indigenous peoples of Australia have multiple critical health problems to address. If they lost their job or status, they would lose their ability to influence positive change across the full range of inequities undermining their health. And she says, what harm reduction measures could improve the health of Indigenous people? She says, smoking is the leading cause of disease and premature death. Vaping, snus, oral nicotine pouches, heated tobacco products alone or in combination with nicotine replacement products could all help to reduce smoking consumption and prevalence, which would in time reduce smoking and tobacco chewing related diseases. Kevin, we need to get somebody in here that knows more about oral tobacco than me. Carl Phillips would be great to talk about chewing related diseases, because
Dr. Rodew as well.
Or Brad would be excellent, because that's his area of expertise.
Yep.
How would you advise vapors to get involved and stand up for their rights? And she says people who smoke and people who vape or use other reduced risk alternatives to smoking have a right to have their opinions considered by regulators and health authorities. I 100% agree. And she says, what is your proudest moment in your advocacy career? And she says, getting to professor and being one of 3 finalists for the 2019 New Zealander of the Year Supreme Award. And I think that's Jacinda right there. I'd have to, where's my Kiwis? I think that's Jacinda. She was the Prime Minister of New Zealand.
I have no idea.
The young lady beside Marewa.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that lady's name was Jacinda. Anyway, the award committee wanted to recognize what I had done across my career to reduce smoking in New Zealand. Advocating for vaping, which triggered a more rapid reduction in smoking, was part of that. And what would be a campaign you would love to start if there were no obstacles? And she says, raise the bar, academia. Academia needs to remember its purpose and to raise professional and ethical standards across research and teaching. Set a goal to lift science to a rigorous standard, starting in medical schools and in the health services or health sciences.
Mm-hmm.
WHO or WHO, is the biggest enemy when it comes to tobacco harm reduction. And she says the World Health Organization, decision-making politicians, regulators, and government officials, and the philanthropists funding the World Health Organization are being fed a diet of disinformation. There are many seminal texts about why this is happening. 2 I found enlightening were Manufacturing Consent, The Political Economy of Mass Media, a 1988 book by Edward S. Herman and Noam Chomsky, and Power Shift, Knowledge, Wealth, and Violence on the Edge of the 21st Century, a book by Alvin Toffler. And is there a message that you would like to give our readers? Stopping violence, lies, and fraud starts with each one of us. Strive to live by values incompatible with these harmful behaviors. Value honesty, humility, and respect. Act with compassion. Be a truth seeker, but also you must protect yourself, your family, and your organizations. Hone your bullshit detector. Do what you can.
Repeat that again.
Hone bullshit. Hone your bullshit detector.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Do what you can to make the world a safer place for the most vulnerable children, girls, and women. Damn straight. I think we've done a fair bit of trying to protect children on this show, Kevin. Finally, you could give an ecigclick award to any person, product, or company in the vaping industry advocacy circle. Who or what would that be? She says there are so many tobacco harm reduction inventors, scientists, advocates, manufacturers, retailers, and consumers that deserve awards. I would like there to be a champion wall where all of them could be honored for their part in saving the many lives that have been saved already. Thank you, ecigclick, for this opportunity to share a bit about my career. And then they thank her, and then they put links for her stuff.
I want to make sure everybody understands that may not know that self-promotion's what it is. She also was one of the first people who brought 1 Billion Lives over there and presented it, right?
Yes.
So that's something
prior to that, let's be clear that New Zealand was one of the most unfriendly places on the globe for vaping.
Yes. Changed the landscape of their
if we were to criticize Aaron Biebert and 1 Billion Lives for all the other crap that people criticize that film for, we can say, if nothing else, that movie opened up New Zealand and will ultimately be responsible for saving innumerable lives.
Yeah,
because of that.
It's I hate to say footnote. It's just another part of her that doesn't really seem to be as important today in comparison to what she's done since, of course. But that was a part of the beginning for me to see.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I'm glad you did take the time for her for the whole thing, because she's an important person to me and you, of course. So yeah, sometimes we screw off and get all mad and start pointing fingers at people, and she's one of them. I can't point fingers.
Well, this sucks, Kevin. That Lancet article that you sent me about Varenicline.
Yeah.
It won't open now. It says that it's that. Here, I'll show it to you. This is what it says.
Right.
Let me show it to you. It says here.
Aaron's, except for his sweater
it
choices.
Says, issues in progress. There are no issues in progress to display at this time. Please check again later or visit.
Okay.
Issues.
I, of course, wouldn't have screenshotted it. I'll give you a quick, only out of recollection of an old man's memory. I believe Dr. or Professor Pelosa was in that, I think. They were using it to see if it would help people quit smoking. It is, I think, a generic, correct me if I'm wrong, generic form of Chantix. And I don't remember the time frame, if it was 2016 to 2018 or what. It's not brand new, but
it was measuring the success of Varenicline versus placebo.
Yes, with an RCT, if I recall correctly, and there is it showed some help. So no matter how dead set on hoo-ha, we're going to vape and that's it, you got no other choices like snooze or anything else, which I never heard of either, by the way. Who was that said that? Jason, I think. You have to go, well, even if I don't like it, that doesn't mean I don't have to use it, and you don't either, but somebody else might. So now, do I like it? No. Does it cause troubles? Yep. But
I'm just
based upon the time frame, I can't tell you for sure what it was, unless you can find it another way.
I'm trying.
That's weird that they would pull that.
Now it's for sale.
Well, I swear that was Pelosa.
No, Benowitz is on it. I can see the name of the authors.
Maybe it was him then. Maybe it was him.
Yeah. But yeah,
somebody we knew at least, or 2 or 3 or whatever.
It's annoying that earlier today it opened, and now it won't open because they've closed that issue. Weird.
That is
weird.
But
Kevin.
it's still blacklisted here, right? It's gone, right? There is no Chantix. Did
as
they
far as I
reopen
know,
it again?
I'm 99%
it
positive that it is now available. But they pulled it for a little while because there was a chemical that was in a batch that caused cancer, and that's on my one intro piece about how FDA is the gold standard. But yeah, that's weird.
So I'm not against somebody taking a pill. I'm not. My sister did try it, and she said it did work for a little while, but it was driving her way insane. It was giving her a lot of problems, but it did. She said it did help her quit.
Hey, Kev, Tootsie Rolls here.
I almost brought a Hershey bar back here
I have a whole bag of Halloween chocolate over here that I didn't give out because the kids didn't show up this year.
What?
Yeah, our trick-or-treaters didn't really show up this year. I was kind of...
And Chris, just like earlier at Halloween, we're on chocolate cream pie patrol now. He's on the West Coast and I'm on the East. You just send them to me. I'll take care of it. Just in case.
Yeah. All right, here we got a video piece, Kev.
All right.
Let me get over here and get my sharing thing on.
Chocolate
right.
Walking in.
Yeah,
I love them.
You see him just kind of just walk in and just sashay in with his big old
like
grin.
He owns the place, flipping his hair around.
If nothing else, Chris has great teeth. Like when you see a picture of him,
he's a beautiful man.
They're glowing. His smile is infectious, and he has good teeth. Not like our Brit friends.
Stop it.
All right, let's watch this.
Keeping you informed about the latest on vaping dangers and the opioid crisis remains a top priority for state leaders.
All right. So, you see what they did there?
Contest.
You see what they did there? They mentioned vaping and opioid in the same breath.
Yeah.
People in their mind think that opioids and vaping are equally as dangerous and frightening and evil.
It's like when I hear Patrick Smart. That scares me. Yeah.
We should all agree that kids vaping is wrong, is bad. But opioids kill motherfuckers. I mean, let's be completely and totally above board here. If you don't believe that, go to Netflix after this show and watch the documentary series, The Pharmacist. That shit will. I mean, I'm sure. I know for a fact that I've mentioned that documentary.
Yes, we have
multiple times on the show. And that
you encouraged me so much that I watched
that. That man went through hell, and I almost got emotional there for a minute when I was watching that because that is some sad shit. But anyway,
is that a vape or is that THC?
That looks like a CE4 to me.
Okay, I wasn't sure. That's got a thing on it. Yeah,
it's old stock footage. I'm 100% sure. Yeah, that's either that's got to be a CE4. But anyway,
leaders. The Department of Health has teamed up with various organizations to host a public service announcement video contest. The purpose is to educate youth throughout Acadiana about the dangers of vaping and opioids.
You see, like the huge numbers of pictures there of OxyContin.
Mm-hmm.
OxyContin.
Vape.
The dangers of vaping. Little short picture of somebody vaping. You see. They're playing mind games here, Kevin.
This is how gaslighting works.
This is social engineering right here at its best.
Yes, I'm really hoping that over the Thanksgiving holidays, kids might either individually or as a group do some research and come up with some ideas for a video and film the video and submit it. Because again, we know that it's going to hopefully have a twofold effect. One is that they'll be educating themselves as they do their research, and then hopefully we'll end up with some really great products that we can use that'll be aired as public service announcements throughout our community over the coming months.
What the fuck was that?
That's their background music. They poorly edited that video and crank that loud music right in the middle of that woman's speech.
So what she wants is children to create propaganda that they can use.
Not only that, but so that they can use it,
for free.
Yes. Let's take advantage of child labor here and get them to do our work for us.
Mallory said it.
Just saying.
Yes, it did, Janine.
Yeah. That voice sounds robotic. Oh, we're gonna get to some here after this next piece. We're gonna go right into robotic shit, Kevin.
All right.
But anyway, let's see.
You trigger me with bots.
Well, I mean, this one, as soon as you see it, you're gonna like
next headroom.
Hell.
Hey.
It's another link that's dead.
What? One of mine or one of yours?
This is NHS.
What?
Just published a big article dispelling vaping misinformation. Let's see. See if I can find another link to it real quick. Well,
read that while we wait. What?
Let me.
I haven't used this in a while. What? I can't find my figs here.
Let's see if I think I got it. Yep.
I think I threw it away.
I got it. Here we go. All right.
I'm ready.
All this, we're having all sorts of technical issues tonight. At least, though, we're not.
Patrick's feelings are hurt. Drink.
Do I have feelings, Kevin?
Well, that's what they're for, at least. I don't know.
Feelings, nothing more than feelings.
Oh.
So it says here, NHS releases myth-busting facts about disposable vapes. And right. I will notice that most of these busted myths don't mention disposable vapes at all. It's just dispelling myths about vaping.
Oh, well.
So let's see.
That's sad.
Scroll down. Look at the pictures of all of the puff bars and Lost Mary, whatever Lost Mary is. And anyway, it says here, as Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and the UK government crack down on underage and disposable vaping, I don't get that. Brits are getting ready to hear what will come of the tobacco and vapes bill. But the vast amount of information swirling around the internet and news about disposable vapes, how much do we really know or actually know? Thankfully, the NHS has provided some myth-busting facts about e-cigarettes, which are handy for keeping in our brains. This service has provided these as part of their better health tools to help people quit smoking. So let's scroll down here. It says here, its site prefaces an important message. Vaping is not completely harmless. We only recommend it for adult smokers to support quitting smoking and staying quit. Let's see. Myth 1, vaping is just as harmful as smoking. Fact, nicotine vaping is not risk-free, but is substantially less harmful than smoking. Back in 2022, UK experts reviewed international evidence and found that in the short and medium term, vaping poses a small fraction of the risks of smoking. They also found a difference in the chemicals found in cigarettes and vapes. Cigarettes release thousands of different chemicals when they burn, including many poisonous ones and up to 70 that cause cancer. Most of the harmful chemicals in cigarette smoke, including tar and carbon monoxide, are not contained in vape aerosol. At least they didn't put...
Good morning, Mighty Pups. First mission, get dressed. Action! Hey! Yes, they're up.
Why is that? What is this?
It tastes the same. Really? School time. Final mission. Get on time. Hey, isn't that your costume for the movie tonight? Hey, isn't that your costume for the movie tonight?
Available now at a major retailer near you.
We'll stop, will it?
I'm getting an ad somewhere.
A major retailer near you, and you can catch Paw Patrol, the mighty movie, now streaming
underneath
on
or behind or something.
Somewhere. I don't know where that was coming from. It wasn't this applet because I paused this one and it still kept going. Blah. Okay. Myth 2, nicotine is very harmful to health. Despite nicotine being addictive, it is relatively harmless to one's health. Myth 3, vaping does not help people quit smoking. Fact, nicotine vapes
Clean,
are one of the
effective,
most
all-day
effective.
You smell amazing.
It's native.
What the fuck is
Native
this?
combines the best of nature with the best of science
way
that
ass up
neutralizes odor.
Uh-huh.
It was way ass up at the top.
Sneaking around up there.
Bastard. I found your ass, though.
So
let's go back down here.
Ed heard drinking and he come in.
I can't have a rootkit infection. This is a brand new computer. And I'm running McAfee. That's Norton. I'm running Norton. Anyway, vaping does not help people quit smoking. Fact, nicotine vapes are one of the most effective stop smoking aids.
What?
That's what it says right there.
Well, then.
Right there. And it says fact, and it's bolded, Kevin, so I have to believe it.
I tell you, other than that, that's...
Yep. According to the NHS, evidence has shown nicotine vapes are actually more effective than nicotine replacement therapies like patches and gums. Some people find vaping helps them because the hand-to-mouth action is like smoking. Or, I use my pipe here and,
Yeah. Did Michelle say the clown's out of school again? Is that what that says? I can't see.
I am not reading what she said because she used a name that shall not be named.
Clown.
He who shall not be named.
Clown.
Yeah. Let's see. Switching to a vape is just swapping one harmful addiction for another. It's fact. While vapes contain the same addictive substance as cigarettes, vaping nicotine is far less harmful. So it's not swapping one harmful to another harmful. So it says here, smoking cigarettes by burning tobacco and vape and e-liquid, both of which give you a hit of nicotine, are not the same thing. Burning tobacco creates many harmful toxins that can cause serious illness, including cancer, lung disease, heart disease, and stroke. On the other hand, vaping exposes users to far fewer toxins and at lower levels than smoking cigarettes, so much less harmful.
That's that's what I've been holding on to this sign for.
So it says here, myth 5, Kevin. People use vapes more frequently than cigarettes. That must be worse.
Well.
And I don't know that I don't think I agree with this, Kevin, because I don't vape as frequently as I used to smoke.
I'd say I'm about the same, give or take. But I can leave it for 20 minutes.
If I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I would take a cigarette with me.
Oh yeah. I don't do that.
And now
I did. I don't do this.
Yeah, no. Now,
no.
If I get up in the middle of the night, I go do my business and I go back to sleep. And in the morning, I don't grab my vape before I brush my teeth and I get dressed, and I don't even take my first toot until I can't
find it for 10 minutes. Really? It's where I left it at the end of the night, whatever that is.
Yeah. And at your age, you probably don't remember for a while.
Well, it takes a minute. I'm just buttering around the house looking for it.
Vapes are not regulated. We do not know what's in them. Fact. In the UK, nicotine vaping products are tightly regulated for safety and quality. All products for sale must be notified to the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, and detailed information, including a list of all ingredients. Yeah, I mean, not just in the UK, because the FDA also wants everybody's ingredients list as well. Vaping causes popcorn lung, Kevin. Popcorn lung.
Just a minute. Let me turn this up. Okay, there you go. All right.
Yeah.
Nope, I can't hear it yet. All right.
So it says vaping does not cause popcorn lung, the common name for a rare disease called bronchiolitis obliterans. We've been seeing popcorn lung cropping up all over the place. The disease was found in a we've been. I'm hoping that they're saying that they see references to popcorn lung pot cropping up all over the place.
Right.
The disease was found in a group of factory workers exposed to a chemical diacetyl used to flavor popcorn. Diacetyl can be found in cigarette smoke, but is banned as an ingredient in UK regulated nicotine vapes and liquids. It is not banned here in the States, as far as I know, but most companies voluntarily removed it from their,
shortly after they all got pissed off at Dr. F, right?
A long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, quite a while back.
Yeah. Myth 8. Exposure to vape aerosol is harmful to people around you. Fact. There is no evidence so far that vaping is harmful to people. Victor's already checking out. Do you see that, Kevin?
What? What are you babbling about?
Victor's leaving. Did you see?
Yeah, I said goodnight to him.
Did you see that Ed says night, Victor? Night.
Victor left. Patrick's upset.
Night.
Night.
Night. Oh, what did I do?
I hit
the wrong button somewhere, Kevin.
Look, Janine was out all day for 3 days and didn't vape until she had dinner. After she had dinner, all day.
All day.
Are you trying to put mug shots of me up?
Yeah. I was moving. My hand went down and hit a button, and now
it's a less harmful.
I've lost my spot.
There.
This
portion of our program is sponsored by Less Harmful Alternatives.
Less harmful alternatives.
There you go.
Yeah.
Didn't even miss it, she said. Didn't even miss it.
Well, yeah.
I would have missed it. I'd have been walking and vaping, and
I'm not delayed. I was making the same face while I was staring at the damn monitor, trying to figure out how I goofed up.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna just. Says here the last myth. It says a disposable vape can carry or can deliver as much nicotine as 40 or 50 cigarettes. And it says fact. A UK standard disposable vape delivers a similar amount of nicotine as 20 cigarettes. So the NHS has dropped the bomb on the truth there, Kev.
See, that's the wording thing. It's as much as a pack of cigarettes or 20 packs or 10 cartons. How about fuck off? It replaces a pack or 10 packs or 10 cartons. So piss off.
Yeah. I mean, these fear-mongering people that are idiots that don't really get it, these people are screeching. They're screeching, Kevin, about how much nicotine is in, a disposable vape, which apparently the general public believes you use that just once, Kevin.
Well, I'm up to 720 packs right now. I don't know if Phil's got me any more yet, but 720 I think is the high.
Apparently, they think that if you open it and you start vaping, that you vape that disposable e-cig in the length of time that you would smoke one cigarette. That's what I think. That's what these people think.
What does this tank hold? 2.5.
Which one is that? Is that the Zlide or?
It's the Zlide. I don't know.
Okay, so the Zlide I think holds 5. I think it holds 5 mils.
This can be filled usually a day and a half, sometimes 2. Sometimes I go, oh wait a minute, I think oh my goodness, it's low. 2 or 3 days. I've averaged 2 or 3 a day for God knows how long. 2 or 3 a day. That's it. That's all I use. It's 18. When I went to 3, it was way more.
Oh yeah.
Which does what, Patrick? It makes me do more, right?
Well, yeah, you're going to increase your contact with all of the few harmful things that are in there.
So I like the 18. It satisfies me, and they kiss my ass. Everybody else can kiss my ass. And then if you like 3, good for you, or whatever number you like.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Cock-a-doodle-doo. No, I mean, I just think that these people, when they hear the words disposable e-cigarette, they think that disposable e-cigarette is supposed to replace one cigarette.
Right, exactly. One puff.
So, when they screech in the UK newscasters, we've talked about this, the UK people, those newscasters in the UK seem to be quite belligerent to anyone that comes on their show that is pro vaping, because they obviously don't understand that, yes, that disposable e-cigarette has more nicotine than one cigarette because it's supposed to replace 2 packs of cigarettes, or in this case, the UK ones, only one pack of cigarettes.
Yes.
According to them.
And Ed, it's about every 2 or 3 weeks when I go, and so yeah, at least twice a year though. It's not a hard.
I'm currently still in the middle of testing out my first batch of my citrus tobacco.
Citrus.
It's a tobacco. You remember we were talking a while back about the Camel came out with their exotic blends, and one of them was an orange citrus tobacco. And
I think Dustin tried that. I think somebody
I'm now testing it out. On this one, I'm going to have to tweak the recipe just a little bit, but it's not too bad.
So let's talk about titration while you're sitting there enjoying yourself. My boy had been on one level of his medication, and he discussed with his doctor some issues, and the doctor said, "Well, let's move that up a little." So they moved it up a little. In about 5 days, that level changed, and he himself said, "I notice a difference in me." And I said, "That's what I was talking about with titration. And that's what I was talking about with you being a little shithead when you didn't take your medicine." So when you don't do it, it's
no. I mean, if the dosage was wrong, Kevin, and you know this, and I know this, and some people in the chat room might know this, but people that are on those medicines have to take them for several days for the levels to even out. Before, so even if he was taking the dosage that the doctor said, that was no longer effective. It might have been effective before, and your body builds up sort of a tolerance for it. So you have to tweak it here and there as you go, which is normal. I mean, for me, dealing with patients all the time, I understand pharmaceuticals and how they work, especially with neurodegenerative diseases. Things that work for Parkinson's patients when they initially get the diagnosis, those have to change. Your L-DOPA has to change. You're going to notice that even with the boss, that sometimes her medicine is no longer going to be as effective, and you're going to have to tweak that. It's just the way it is. The human body just gets used to the substances that you're putting into it. It's like when I used to drink, I could drink a 6-pack and get a buzz, and that's all I needed. And now I have to drink a 12-pack or more because I have built a tolerance.
So my 18, and you're still on 18, aren't you?
No, I'm on 12. I'm on 12. I've been on 12 for like 5 years, and I'm not going any lower.
And who cares?
But I do have 18. I do have 18. Laying in wait just in case I have a bad day. Sometimes I do pop up and then I pop back down.
There you go. And you do you. That's my thing. It's called freedom of choice. There you go. Anyway, that's enough of that.
All right. So I mentioned earlier when we first started the show that I do my Googles.
Yeah.
I do my Googles. And about 2 days ago, I did my Googles.
You did,
and I noticed this thing, and I'm gonna throw a graphic up. This is weird. This is weird, Kev.
Yeah.
So here's this graphic, and this is This is a bunch of screenshots of
the Googles
of my Googles, and you're going to notice if you'd have to look really close, Kev, but all of these hits on here, and there were actually, this is just the first 4 pages. I actually have 12 pages.
Yeah.
All of these stories on here are published on the same website, and they were all published within about 2 hours from the first page to page 12 of this Google search. There was somewhere, if there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 120 news pieces, all published on the same website over a period of 2 hours. So I'm gonna share because I they're still there, right? So Google doesn't forget anything. So if you look here,
it doesn't forget.
This is if I go back one page. If I go back one page, this is page 11 now, but if I go to page 10 and I scroll to the bottom of page 10, there's one article on the bottom of page 10 that, oh no, there's 2. Express Healthcare Management is the name of this website. So there's 2 here. So if I go to page 11, all of these are different titles. All of these are about vaping. And this was all 3 days ago. If I go to page 12, look. Now there's one here that's not that website.
Somebody's sneaking in on them.
Express Healthcare. Again, 3 days ago. Now it doesn't. When I initially did it, it was listed in hours because they had just did it. Express Healthcare. This is still all of these pieces. Oh, there's one. You go to page 14. Express Healthcare. All of these.
Ain't that fun?
Let me skip to page 17. Let's skip 3 pages. I'll go to. Oh, look. Finally, so if I go to 16, up page 15. There we go. Express Healthcare. So we talked about a study last week or 2 weeks. I think it was last week. So I'm just going to click on one of these. All right. So this is Express Healthcare Management. The title of the story is How Can You Tell if Someone's Vaping in Your House? It is a story about vaping with a bunch of ads from JCPenney. If I go over here and just click on this to open the home site, it's going to open up. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with AI art, all of these pieces, all of these graphics are AI generated artwork. Every one of them. Every one of them. Is drinking coffee black the healthiest? Why is black? So they're already today they're telling stories about coffee.
They're trying to hit the algorithms, aren't they?
So all of these stories, all of them that were generated, let's just do a search. Let's do vaping right on this website.
Jason mentioned the clown again.
Yeah. Look, all of these articles about vaping published on November 22, 2023. All of them.
Yeah. What's that tell us? Somebody's got a really sore finger.
So,
wow.
If you go to the Chat GPT and type in, is vaping good for you? Or how does vaping make you smell bad? It's going to create you a story about how vaping makes you smell bad. How is vaping good for anxiety? Is going to create an article, and all they did. I mean, there was 120 pieces generated on one day about vaping. So then the next day, let's do coffee. So, I didn't link this on the show because I don't want to drive any traffic to this website, but this is exactly what that article last week was about. Was using AI to create news stories of misinformation news stories, and then all they did was they got a couple stock pictures of doctors and of medical centers and stuff that they can use AI generated artwork. But literally, this is that study that we talked about last week about misinformation and vaping and COVID. Oh shit! I said the word.
Where's my YouTube?
All of this is This is content that was all generated on the same day.
Well,
and you cannot tell me that somebody wrote 120 stories in one day.
There's nobody I know that could do that in one day.
But the AI sure as hell can.
I did the AI at an encouraging moment from a friend of ours. And I said, all right. So I went in there and I'm on the wrong screen. And I did this and that and the other. And it's very contrived. And it does seem like one of the clowns does use it to get his answers, because those are the answers I was getting for the questions I was asking. So what I said was, well, let me take one of my blogs. And I put a paragraph in. I said, reword this for me. And I was like, oh, very interesting how that can work. So then I thought, well, let me try a couple things within one of the blogs. Within one of the blogs was something I've said before 100 times, and I'm just going to put the link to my tweet in the chat. But science is science. So I said something like, evaluate these statements for me. So it did. And I was like, ooh, that's kind of neat. So it made it sound a little smarter than me, at least. And I was pretty impressed. So there you go. So AI is probably helpful to some extent, but wow, this is sad.
I mean, literally though, and if we had done this, if we had created a website and told the AI to generate positive stories about vaping,
right,
and generated 120 news articles and published them on a website and then shared them all over Twitter,
right,
they'd be attacking us. They'd be going, look at these motherfuckers and they're blah blah blah. But this is scary, because all of this can be generated, can be used. The content now exists. You know what I'm saying? It's on the web. It's there. People are going to share it on social media. Ooh, I just saw this really scary story on this healthcare website. And people are going to share it. But obviously logic dictates that if 120 news pieces were all published within 2 hours of each other, that it can't be separately. Anything, cannot be anything but misinformation and nonsense, and it can't be written by a human being.
Peppered and salted along the fine lines of stupidity, it can go forever. And if you hit the algorithms right, it'll never go away.
And everybody's, obviously AI is all over the news now. People are, there's all sorts of kerfuffle going on because one guy was working for a company and he lost his job or got pushed out of the company, yada, yada, yada. It's all there. But the frightening aspects of people using AI, and in this context, as a tool for social engineering, is what this is.
So my title should be tomorrow: does vaping make tobacco control advocates look like idiots? And see how that pans out.
But I would not have been aware of it had I not had I just skipped out and didn't do my customary Google.
No, but perhaps I noticed in its wording as I was doing, I chose a Jerry one just for fun. And I took like 3 paragraphs. I said, reword this for me. And it took it in a different light, more intelligently spoken than I'd have spoken, because I type like I write, or write like I think. And that's just how I am. Obviously, you've been with me long enough on this show, or I've been with you, but my brain kind of goes one way, and that's the way I'm going to speak and write. And it changed it to make it sound as if they're already using it. And the similarities in the wording is like, yeah, Jesus, this sounds awfully similar to that. Would you ever, you would know, because you've written enough, and some of you guys would know if I put a blog out that was done by that program, the GPT, I think.
Yeah.
I probably could do it, put it out, and somebody would go, did you write that? You didn't write. Did you write that? You didn't write that.
I would be of the mind. Did you use? I mean, this thing doesn't use your words,
idiosyncrasies, and there's
this is not your. This is
definite pattern. Yeah, there's definite patterns. So
what happened?
It's okay. Huh? What?
I clicked one of your tweets and it says this page no longer exists.
What? Which one?
Well, inversionism.
Oh, let me look at my inversionism.
Oh, you know what? It might be because all right. That's one. Janine's didn't even open, and I know Janine's tweet didn't get deleted.
Okay.
Let me open it from the original source.
Okay.
Maybe it's because I cut and pasted all of these links and then repasted them into my messenger so that they were all together.
Hey, the Varenicline one opened.
Yeah, I'm gonna reopen it from your message instead of trying to use it from my message.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know which one. Inversion. It is. No, it's still there. It's still there. Okay.
It's the very first thing you sent me this week.
The tweet. Yeah, it's a tweet's up there. That's good.
Yeah, it's not. It reopened now. While I'm at it, let me open Janine's tweet as well, because we're gonna do all the tweets at one time.
Jason. Clown. He shall now be referred to and known as Clown.
We don't.
Oh yeah, we do. Oh, Clown, motherfucking Clown.
We don't want to hurt his feelings, Kevin.
Fuck his feelings. That's what feelings are for.
All right, so Kevin, do you know what time it is, Kev?
It's time for me to go to fucking bed. That's what time it is. 11:30.
No, it's not time for you to go to bed. Don't even try that shit.
Express Healthcare, Steve said, is out of India, by the way.
Wow. Well, anyway, do you know what time it is, Kevin?
Oh, it's got to be the fake tweet of the week. Yeah. I didn't pick one. I'm gonna make you.
Well, I'm gonna put all the tweets in there, all of our tweets that
fake
discuss all at one time.
Tweet of the week.
It's time for the Vape Cats of the week.
Wow. So here, Kevin, this is your first tweet that you sent me.
Kevin. Look at this.
They're all picking on you.
I don't know who inversionism is. I didn't even investigate them. They got a blue check mark, so you get clearly they got to be trusted, right?
Well,
imagine, Patrick.
I have one. It says Chronicles of the Clown World, where everything is inverted and upside down.
Clown.
And it's a PhD of clown wordology.
Clown. So imagine, Patrick, living in a country where the FDA and USDA will bust down your door and arrest you for. Now, I don't care about this milk bullshit. I don't care. If you want to drink milk, go drink it. I don't care. So selling unpasteurized raw milk and grass-fed meat that is statistically safer than lettuce you buy at Walmart, which I don't know that's true. I'm just reading what I'm seeing. While that same FDA approves the blankety blank of the blank to the infants without any questions for science of blankety blank. So at the bottom of this, as you scroll for me, raw milk should be legal nationwide. Its illegality in any state is absurd and a testament to how captured government is by corrupt industry who want to get their cut boiling milk and making it less healthy for you. Now, I don't care about the milk part. I care about the shirts and the bands on the arm and the knocking on my fucking doors. That's what I cared about. And I saw that and I did watch it. It's 5 minutes long. We do not need to go delving into this part of the world, but it's a general idea that I want to drink raw milk, Patrick. Do you know anything about that? I don't.
What are you asking the grandson of a man and a woman that had a 1,000-acre dairy farm about
a dairy farmer? Yeah. So did you ever drink raw milk?
Yes.
Did it taste good?
Not really. I mean, it tastes like milk. Obviously, okay. It does have more of a wild gamey that disappears when you pasteurize it.
I'll accept that. All right. But should it be your right to be able to drink raw as opposed to pasteurized milk?
I should be able to put into my body anything that I want to put into my body.
And there is my point that I've taken with this tweet that they said they won't outlaw guns. We know they did during Katrina. As an example, I know you know that story.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you coming to my door? Why are you telling me I can and cannot? This is my house or my company or my whatever.
I mean, there is no constitutional amendment protecting milk, but
I didn't think there would be. I wasn't sure. But if this girl wants to drink, whoever she is, wants to drink her milk unpasteurized, I don't see a point in making her mad.
I mean, if the animal is healthy,
why?
If the cow is healthy, if the goat is healthy, if whatever animal that you are milking is healthy, then the product that it produces should be healthy. So there's no reason why the government, I mean, the reason why we pasteurize milk is because now we don't have these animals living in a natural way.
Right.
And diseases have popped up in these animals.
Yes.
Which means that the stuff that they produce has to be, there's bacteria there that in the past wasn't there. Do you think people didn't drink milk prior to pasteurization and Louis Pasteur?
That's correct.
That wasn't necessary until we industrialized farming.
And I know you all in the chat. I love every damn one of you dearly. Now, here's my question: If you're gonna make this illegal, should breastfeeding just be banned? Right. So fuck off is what I'm saying. I don't think
considering human beings are mammals.
Yeah.
But mammals,
Patrick, knock.
I'm gonna. This is the obvious part of the show, Kevin. Human beings are mammals, which means that we are biologically, we are designed specifically to process milk.
Right.
Lactose intolerance was not a thing until like sometime in the late 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
And that's only because all of our entire, and now I'm not getting into the weird conspiracy stuff here, Kevin, but
no.
all of our food that we put into our body is highly artificial now. It is processed.
Exactly, Steve. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
so
none of this stuff popped up until we started fucking around with the food supply, trying to make it do things that it wasn't supposed to do. I mean,
my mom, like you, was around a dairy farm when she was a kid up in Maine, and she said she loved raw milk. Absolutely loved raw milk.
I mean,
couldn't get it anymore, but
whole milk.
I don't know.
Like
she said raw. I don't know.
No, I'm just talking about nowadays.
Yeah.
Nobody buys whole milk. Everybody buys 2% or skim.
Yeah.
After you drank like 2% or skim for a long time, and then you go and buy whole milk, you accidentally go and buy whole milk, and you drink a glass of that, and you go, "Oh my God, what have I?" This is. I mean, I've gotten so used to drinking this watered down stuff.
What did I do?
Why in the hell would I ever have cut this out other than somebody said somewhere that it's bad for me?
Right.
Now, to be fair, humans are the only mammals that continue to drink milk after toddlerhood. Most animals eventually wean themselves off of milk because in nature, mom doesn't produce milk forever.
Right.
So dairy cows produce milk longer than they naturally would because we pump them full of hormones so that their body thinks that they've just had a baby forever.
Right. So, yeah, this wasn't to go to an extreme of anything specific. It's just an example of not.
Overstepping of government regulation is what this is.
We don't like this. Stop doing that.
This is the USDA and FDA trying to tell people what they can and can't do.
One of my funniest moments of tweeting.
Jason, don't even get started on nut milk and nut oils because I will go forever talking about how those two specific products have decreased the level of testosterone in human men in the United States. This doesn't happen in other countries, let me tell you.
Dr. Gottlieb, two specific tweets that he put out. Number one was that he tried to eat hops and barley. I believe it was the hops because the FDA determined that was alcohol, and now it is not.
No.
He also determined that almonds could not be milked. So there you go.
They cannot.
Who cares? Whatever.
Anything made from, like, for example, soy is a bean, right? Yeah. Soybeans. In nature, soybean is innocuous and not dangerous, but obviously we fucked around with that and bioengineered that. Those have been proven to lower testosterone in men.
I'm sure
they goof up women's hormones as well, but they really fuck with us, as well as all of the oils produced by nuts and the milks created by. Oh, don't even give me. That's not what we're talking about because that would Anyway, Kevin has milked quite a lot of nuts over the years. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Oh, I've had too much.
Then we get this lovely picture of our wonderful friend Janine.
Look at that.
Another great day to be alive. Thank you. Healthier lungs, heart, and spirit. She looks so happy there.
Didn't mention vaping.
I think that's Window Rock. I think that's what that's called. What is that called, Janine? You're in the chat room. What is that place called? I think it's called Window Rock, but I could be wrong.
It's a big old ass rock.
That does remind me of the Star Trek episode where Kirk and Spock go through the.
You did not fall off the cliff. Did you fall off the cliff?
That's why she hasn't been around for a while, Kevin. She fell off a cliff and had to.
No, she doesn't like you. That's why.
That's what I thought. That's what I said. Is I thought you were mad at us for something. Kind of worried there that she was upset with us.
I'm still laughing. I'm still laughing at Mallory.
I always laugh at Mallory.
I'm leaving an opportunity off just on the table because.
So those were your two tweets. Those were the only two tweets I saw in our messages back and forth.
I had to put this one up because look at that.
Oh no, I totally believe that is a gorgeous.
Such an accomplishment.
That is an awesome tweet from a gorgeous human being. Yes.
Oh my God! You can't. It's Arches National Park. She says.
Okay, so and Window Rock or whatever sounds similar to Arches. I can go with that. Ooh. So now I have purposefully been trying to find tweets from people outside of our sphere, Kevin.
It's not easy, is it?
No.
Really not. No.
But this girl here goes by the handle Catgirl Kulak.
Uh-oh.
And she says here, nicotine raises IQ.
Oh.
The second this was discovered, they moved to try to ban it. This is why they expend everything to stop kids from smoking. This is why tobacco has to be hidden while marijuana shops pop up on every corner. They want you dumb, drugged, and cattle-like.
Oh, wow. I've never seen this one.
No, that's what I'm saying. I found this. So her little picture here that I'm going to click on it and make it bigger.
I need this.
Already in 1994, the nicotine researchers, Stuff, Gordon, and others in New Zealand attempted to quantify the strength of the effect of smoking. They found that nicotine in smoking could increase intelligence by 6 points in IQ tests. Kevin, you need those 6 points.
Certainly on a curve, I do.
If you have an IQ of 100, which is the average, smoking will therefore be able to increase it to 106, according to these studies. Do successful anti-smoking campaigns reduce the population's level of intelligence? ? Other researchers point out the positive impact of smoking on the major advances in artistic creativity that have taken place in Europe and the U.S. over the last few centuries. A large number of writers and artists have been known as passionate smokers, and geniuses such as Niels Bohr and Albert Einstein have praised tobacco's positive effect on their thinking. The English psychology professor Bruce Charlton asked in his blog, "Are we sacrificing genius and great inventions with anti-smoking campaigns in favor of longevity?" His answer, maybe. So if I hadn't reached outside of our group, Kevin, I would never have seen this tweet.
This is the one you didn't put in there, isn't it?
This is one of the two that I did not put in there.
You bastard.
Yeah. See how sneaky I am? But now you can go and retweet it because I did retweet this and it's on my timeline.
I'll be right back. Then.
All right. And then the second tweet is also on my timeline, Kevin. This is, and I retweeted it and then I quote tweeted it, but this one is from Two Firsts. And it says, Russia's health ministry opposes a hashtag ban on the sale of e-liquids containing nicotine, citing potential infringement on citizens' health protection law. So even, and I'll show my retweet. It says, even Vladimir knows that banning safer nicotine tobacco harm reduction violates people's rights to healthier opinion or healthier options. Why does the WHO not?
Good question.
Well, I can't open that in front of everybody, Jason. I'm sharing this screen right now. As soon as I close, I will read my messages. Jason's telling me I need to read.
It depends on what he's trying to open.
I need to read my messages. But I'm looking at my X messages. I don't have one from you.
She said it's the arch.
Oh. The last message I have from Jason, it says, have a great stream tonight. And this is from September 29th. I'll be heckling from the raffle seats.
You're just as bad as I am.
That is the last, unless he's just referring to the fact that I have 4 messages on.
Oh,
I'm in so many Twitter groups, Kevin, like in the background here.
If y'all are messaging me, I haven't backed away completely, but I don't look at my Facebook bullshit stuff as much as I used to, and I don't look at the Twitter messages. I just get on there and I tweet and I see stuff and then I leave. I just don't. It doesn't matter.
Some of these are like secret Twitter troll groups.
Well, those, yeah.
And they're quite there. There's a lot of action going on in there, Kevin, and sometimes there's too much for me to focus on.
Yeah.
There's too much for me to focus on.
Yeah.
But,
need more nicotine.
So I feel like those were 4 really awesome tweets that we shared as our Vape Cats X's of the week. Unless you have another one that you want to share.
No, I'm pretty proud of a couple of my own, but I'm not that concerned about showing.
No, I don't ever. I did show mine because I just specifically retweeted that tweet that I just showed but I like all of those.
The answers to the where is this from? This quote that you just showed about the nicotine, because it's interesting. Of all the things I'd seen, I hadn't seen Stowe, Gordon, and others in New Zealand in the IQ. I don't remember an IQ thing at all.
That was in 1994.
I'm intrigued by that. Yeah. Buried, Patrick, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
deep down.
Let me use my Googles. Let's see, New Zealand.
Yeah,
nicotine IQ study. What's that guy's
His
name?
college kids, Gordon
STOUGH. Is that right?
Stowe, yes, STOUGH. Gordon were the 2 that were named. IQ, I guess.
Smoking and Raven IQ. Let me see. Yes, I found it, but I have to. Let me see if it's published somewhere else, because this is Springer, and Springer likes to charge you. Let's see.
Yes, they do.
Let's see if I can find a full text for free. Hey, I'm operating on a budget here. Oh, look, the National Institutes of Health.
Oh, really?
Yeah, full text. No, it's not going to let me. Nope.
Raising
I found that on PubMed, because I've been helping my wife find research for her nursing papers.
Usually good.
Well, not only that, but most of the time, those are funded by U.S. government agencies, so they're usually open. And this one's from 1994, and it's still not open text. Let's see. APA's got it here on their site. Nope. It is just abstract. So, but the title of the study is Smoking and Raven IQ.
Okay.
From 1994.
Okay.
But yes, it is there.
They don't want you to know.
But yes,
whether it's true or not at the moment, I don't care. They don't want you to know if it is, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, Jenny.
So, according to ChatGPT, a study found that smokers had higher scores on the Raven Advanced Progressive Matrices test than non-smokers. The difference in scores was about 0.87 points, which is equivalent to a 6-point increase in Raven IQ. The study suggests that nicotine improves the physiological processes that support intellectual performance.
Okay, so just listening to that, on one hand, we can go, hey, we're smarter. On the other hand, we can say, well, there were a lot more smokers back then. Did they do it correctly? Were there an equal number of smokers and non-smokers? You know what I mean?
Oh, no,
that's my quick analysis of.
I can tell you how the criticism that possibly would be there, right? And well, yeah, there is a possibility that there would be some pushback for sure.
Oh, James is in the room, matey. See,
arg. And Janine's leaving. Did you see that? She left.
I know. She's tired of you. I've had enough of you myself.
I'm trying to be super exciting and keep everybody like going, and it hurts. It really hurts my feelings.
It's a NyQuil thing.
Yeah, don't blame the NyQuil. NyQuil's the good shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell you're saying. All right, so you sent me the links to two studies with snarky names.
What?
Yeah, snarky titles here, Kevin.
Oh yeah, fucking feelings.
Nothing more than
feelings. So
I
don't know.
Let me get them here. Let's
a year and a half ago, I'd have to see my tweet. I did the breakdown. It's like 2/5 of 9/10 of 1/2 of 1% or some other kind of tobacco control bullshit math said that 29 people had their feelings hurt. And that concerned me. Now, that was the first one, just as a reference to the second.
Yeah.
Now they have a second one. And
there's two of these. Let's see. Let's share this one.
I asked on Twitter for a moment of silence, which I think one person said they were done. So
I'm done. So this says they try to suppress us, but we should be louder. A qualitative exploration of intimidation in tobacco control. So we are intimidating them. Is that what they're? Is that what you're saying, Kevin?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
refresh everybody's memory about Dr. Glover's problem, where she was banned and ostracized, and so.
And this one says, to be honest, I'm really scared. Perceptions and experiences of intimidation in the LMIC-based tobacco control community. And the LMIC is low to middle income countries. Just so you get that one. This one was published in. Oh, this is from the University of Bath, Kevin.
Yes.
Did you know? Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of little twits all upset about having their feelings hurt again.
And who did this one? Let me
for the second time.
Let me share this one again. Let's see. Let's scroll down. Who's this one?
Those people who want 91-year-old people to go outside and smoke from nursing homes.
Oh, this one is also from the University of Bath, Kevin. Did you know that?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that part I did, but it's odd that they find one and now they find another, and then they're hurt feelings and they're scared and what? These big. Go ahead.
Let's just see. On background, it says here, tobacco control advocates and researchers face powerful opponents who go to great lengths to protect their interests. While threats and attacks are documented in gray literature, research into intimidation remains scarce. Building on previous exploratory research, this study seeks to offer an in-depth insights into experiences of intimidation in the global tobacco control community. So these people are so intimidated and upset because, Kevin, they don't let us play. Like they won't let us come to any of their conferences. They won't let us do, because apparently anybody that says anything positive about things that they say negative things about must be employed by the evil corporations.
That's correct.
Correct. Mallory is still waiting for her paycheck, and Jason is waiting for his, and Michelle and Addie and Raj and Jason and James, they're all waiting for their big, huge checks from Big Tobacco.
Yeah, that's right. Here's my take on this.
And they're afraid of a handful, literally, Kevin, a handful of regular folks that are just pissed off.
I'm just pissed off. And I, among others, believe me, there's quite a few on this thread. It's amazing how warriors against big tobacco seem to feel powerless against anyone confronting their theoretical rhetoric, narratives, junk science, integrity, and ethics of so-called experts again because of the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so fuck them.
But the conclusion here, intimidation is a significant challenge to tobacco control that needs urgent attention. This study suggests measures to address intimidation that require commitment from and collaboration amongst multiple actors, including governments, international organizations, funders, researchers, and civil society. Moreover, collective action beyond tobacco control is needed to not only manage but move beyond intimidation.
Now, Patrick, do you think we're hard enough on these people? I don't.
I have filtered myself, Kevin.
Exactly.
I've done everything possible to be cordial.
Yes.
I have never used foul language. I have never made threats. I have now I have in the past suggested that some of them may be responsible for child abuse and human rights stuff.
Yep.
I've done that.
I've suggested moats and alligators and been in those conversations.
I have definitely done that. I will not deny that because I have done that. And in all honesty, 100%, I will be held accountable in the future for the irresponsible things that they have done when it comes to causing morbidity and death.
Yeah.
But I was watching, not to interrupt you, but I was watching a video this week that was on social media about, so they had a boomer, a baby boomer, a real baby boomer, and a Generation Z person. They're calling them Zoomers. And the boomer,
is that what we
the
are?
boomer was making the argument that these Zoomers, these younger people, are way more sensitive than any previous generation.
Yeah.
That they're fragile and that words are just as bad as violence to them, Kevin. Physical violence.
I think it is.
That they can't recover from harsh words.
Tell me yourself. Tell me. I'll just give you 3 names. George Carlin. Right?
Uh-huh.
Let's say Red Fox.
Uh-huh.
And I'll pick the third one. Let's see. Pryor. Those 3 people today, had they started today, wouldn't last 5 minutes.
Well,
those are some of the funniest fucking people ever.
I'll give you Red Fox, and
right.
I'll give you the other. What's the other? Richard Pryor. I'll give you those 2.
Yeah,
because they may have been more traditionalists when it comes to the way that conservative. Okay. I won't. I won't throw. Because I don't know what their politics were. Whereas Carlin was a very vocal liberal.
True. That's true.
So he would be given a pass
a little bit. Okay.
Because he criticizes the Republican, conservatives way more. I mean, he criticized everybody. Don't get me wrong.
About Dice Clay, Andrew Dice Clay. There's another one.
Well, he was a misogynist. I mean, he
even
admitted. He even admitted that. I mean, but he admitted, I purposefully told those jokes because they shocked people and that made me rich.
Sam Kinison, you can go on forever, but fuck, they couldn't do that today. Some of these kids would cry. You just whatever.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, if you watch something like Eddie Murphy Delirious, or Eddie Murphy Raw, which were
Raw,
back in old timey days for y'all young people, comedians would make concert films.
Watch Raw,
like 2 hours, and they would play them at the movie theater, and people would spend money to go to the theater to watch 2 hours of stand up on the screen, right? And those are 2 of the most successful comedian films. And there are jokes in there that today would get Eddie Murphy canceled if he told them now.
Of course.
Now, I'm surprised that they haven't gone back to the tape and canceled him in because of things that he said 20 years ago, because they do that. They do go after people that said something 20 years ago. I mean, that's how Paula Deen got in trouble. And I mean, she's never recovered from that. Because she said something 20 years ago that was horrific now. that, lots of people said 20 years ago. And again, I'm not defending that because I would never have said the word that she said. But yeah. Just saying.
Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong, doesn't make it funny, doesn't make it not funny. It's your perception of.
People laugh at uncomfortable things.
Yes, they do.
So
that's what it's for.
I just watched, and I'm way behind. I'm way behind on the but Netflix has a whole bunch of stand-up comedian videos or movies or shows or whatever. And I just watched the Chris Rock one that he did after getting smacked in the face by Will Smith.
Kind of painful, wasn't it, to watch? To me,
I'm like a year behind on that.
I was a little pained by that for a while. I think he was trying really hard.
Well, I mean, I would be upset, and he's rightly upset too. So he's monetizing. Yeah. He's monetizing the hate from Will Smith, or not even Will Smith, but whatever the white thing.
Little Smurfit.
Yeah. And I watched a bunch of Dave Chappelle stuff.
Oh, I love Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. But Dave is not going to let people tell him what jokes he can say.
No, he's not.
I like Chappelle just because he's not gonna let them limit his freedom. Anywho, but not to go any further on it. Here, let's watch this video. This is back here. Yeah, this is. Let's see. Whoop, whoop.
Welcome back. Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Health is continuing its hearings on the proposed Tobacco Products and Electronic Delivery Systems Control Bill. They're talking about cigarettes. They're talking about vaping. That's what it means. The bill aims to classify electronic nicotine delivery systems, vaping, and electronic non-nicotine delivery systems, vaping, in the same category as the traditional tobacco products. Now, essentially, it means there's going to be restrictions. Let's bring into the conversation, find out where we are on this. Sanda Oye, CEO.
Now, this is South Africa, by the way, just so you know. You'll see Oscar Pistorius' name scrolling across the bottom of the screen because he's the guy with the double amputee Olympic guy that killed his girlfriend. You remember? Petridge Farms remembers.
Of the Vapor Products Association of South Africa joining us this afternoon. And good to have you with us, Asanda. So why do you think this is still such a big talking point, especially from those who do vape? I can't go through the entire long-winded version of what they're calling vaping, the delivery systems, if you will, but they're non-nicotine, but they're being penalized for it. You agree or disagree?
Gareth, thank you for having me. The vaping industry disagrees with the current proposal that is on the table. You mentioned in your introduction that the bill seeks to regulate smoking and vaping in the same.
So what they're doing is they have legislation coming up that would place e-cigarettes in the same category as combustible cigarettes, whether the e-cigarette has nicotine or not. Same as us.
We know from science that the two products are completely different. So our bone of contention is that you cannot regulate the vaping and the smoking in the same way.
So why do you think that the vaping industry is being essentially tarred and brushed, if you will, no pun intended, the same way that the smoking industry is? If we're being told that it's obviously not ideal, but it's healthier than smoking. Why do you think government's doing this? Easy way for government to make money?
Recording. Exactly. An easier way for the government to make money. Hey, there's an ad for StreamYards right there on our screens.
I'm trying to find the.
Oh, that was it. That was the end
mob
of it.
has had enough.
Yeah, that was it. That was. They didn't even allow her time to answer that question. That's odd. That's odd, Kevin.
You don't have the StreamYard link in our YouTube.
What do you mean the StreamYard link?
Do you? Huh? What?
What are you talking about? The StreamYard link.
I'm sorry, the Rumble. Somebody asked, what is the Rumble channel?
I got it here. I will slap that into the chat room. I do have it. No, it's not. It doesn't generate until.
Okay. Until you do. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
There it is.
That'll work. It may be for naught because I didn't see the message till now, but I'm going to send it anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, that was quite a while back.
Yeah, last week it was a problem because I had technical difficulties getting anything to work because StreamYards was not playing well with YouTube or the Facebooks.
Right.
Yeah, it was giving me all sorts of shit.
Okay, that's better. Anyway.
Yeah. All right, let me pre-rub this one. This one's funny. This one's funny. You're gonna love this one.
All right. Maybe I will.
No, I'm positive you will. You're gonna love this. So this story is actually from a magazine or a website called View from the Wing, and it is an airline industry website. So this is View from the Wing, and it says, "Yikes! Delta flight attendant pounded cans of wine, began vaping, and sexually assaulted a passenger."
Oh, good Lord.
A Delta Airlines flight attendant pounded 5 cans of wine, began vaping, and sexually assaulted a passenger while traveling as a non-rev on the Atlanta-based carrier. That's like a deadhead. That's like, you're using your company's flying you somewhere and you're not working. While traveling as a non-rev on the Atlanta-based carrier, according to a new lawsuit. The off-duty crew member kissed the woman, touched her up against her will, as working crew continued to ply their colleague with alcohol as she became visibly more and more intoxicated. So a female flight attendant attacked a female passenger in a aggressive way, Kevin.
Wow.
Her defense appears to have been that she drank too much. She says he has no. Oh no, I'm wrong. It's a male flight attendant. She says he has no recollection of the events in question. Eventually, she wound up hospitalized. So she drank. She so drunk she fell down an escalator twice. No, see, I'm confusing pronouns here because they're. It says her defense appears to be that she drank too much. She says he has no recollection of the events in question. So they've switched pronouns in 2 sentences. Okay. Eventually, she wound up hospitalized, so drunk she fell down an escalator twice. This all happened in November of 2022, according to the suit, on board a Delta Airlines flight from Las Vegas to Minneapolis.
Well, that's breaking news.
The non-working flight attendant had been given 2 cans of wine on the flight and then 2 more, eventually kissing this other passenger without her consent. The passenger complained to flight attendants, but the suit says they gave the offender another can of wine. She started vaping. She started vaping and rubbing her victim's bum.
Well,
after Allison got off the plane, she immediately alerted Delta gate agents and requested law enforcement so she could report an alleged sexual assault. At this point, 2 of the working flight attendants got in contact with the suspect, with one of them telling her that she had been pretty bombed, very drunk during the flight. Trebnick Emerson, however, appeared to have no memory of kissing the victim, reacting with surprise in text conversations with her colleagues.
Patrick, I have a question.
Delta won.
What? When did we have to start putting? What were the? Go back up to parentheses. Pretty bombed. What?
Yeah, pretty bombed.
When did we have to start putting in parentheses very drunk for pretty bombed? What is that? What is wrong with you fuckers? Do you not understand what bombed means? Is that gone from our vocabulary?
Currently.
Jesus Christ. Oh, you. What'd you call them? Zoomers?
Zoomers.
Is that us?
No. We're Generation X, sir. We are the you don't mess with us generation.
Well, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Ed, our resident expert, said canned wine is twice as effective.
That's the good stuff right there.
Oh my God.
Canned airline wine, Kev.
Well, let me ask you, why did they give her more? So there you go. That's all
because they were enjoying the show when she was making out with the girl sitting beside her. I mean, come on.
And then suddenly it became out of control, and now they're pissed. Oh, okay.
I'm sure that the attendants that gave her the wine were probably dudes, and they were like, bow, chicka, bow, wow, bow, wow.
So yeah. So I'm questioning the integrity of the whole thing. So, and what the hell does that have to do with vape? She just happened to be vaping.
I just figured I picked it up because it had vape.
A bank robber was arrested this afternoon, and he had a vape.
It was about a woman sexually assaulting another woman. That was probably why I picked it.
Oh my God!
So this one says, woman 21 receives life-saving blood transfusion after using vape for the first time.
Wow. Okay.
A woman needed a blood transfusion after smoking a vape for the first time, leaving her in severe pain, Kevin.
Well, you already lost me because you can't smoke a vape, but all right.
Excuse me. A 21-year-old woman was given a life-saving blood transfusion after using a vape for the first time, according to a recent health report. In a hospital, the woman repeatedly handed the e-cigarette. In hospital, the woman reportedly handed the e-cigarette over to doctors and said she didn't want to use it anymore after being left in excruciating pain.
No, hang on. She's already in the hospital, and she's like, "Oh, I'm in pain.
Take this away from me, doctor." Before I hurt myself.
She was like at home. Yeah, well, she was doing things that she probably shouldn't have been doing and hurt herself, and then on the way she vaped. Or boy, this is a.
Let's see. According to Mail Online, the woman experienced severe pain in her ribs and back shortly after using the device. The incident occurred in India, where doctors say she suffered vaso-occlusion, which is when red blood cells block blood vessels in the lungs. She had a blood clot in the lungs, Kevin.
Good night, Jason.
This was combined with acute chest syndrome, which can prove life-threatening and leave patients struggling to breathe. The woman is said to have been a sickle cell anemia sufferer, and which is a genetic disorder that makes her red blood cells susceptible to morphing into abnormal shapes and means it's harder for the blood to flow. The nicotine found in vapes can lead to the constriction of blood vessels, which adds stress and heightens the likelihood of the formation of sickle cells and serious complications. As a result, the woman's condition, doctors decided the first-time vapor needed a life-saving blood transfusion and recommends anyone with the condition to stay clear of e-cigarettes that contain nicotine. Now, we know if this is India, Kevin, and that's what it said, vaping is already illegal in India.
Yes, and we know because Kevin has done this enough times, checks the reports on vasoconstriction or whatever the fucking word is. And every time I go, it's like 5 reported in the past 10 years. Period.
Well, but if you have a lung disease, like sickle cell anemia, Kevin, which is very painful.
I imagine I wouldn't want to wish it on somebody.
And one of the things that they put you in is a rigid vest that has stuff built into it that delivers powerful. It has bubbles in the back that expand really quickly and hard that simulate like people hitting you in the back to motivate your lungs to work, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So the last thing somebody that has sickle cell anemia should be doing is inhaling anything into their lungs. Smoking is bad. Don't do that. But, if you have that, you probably should not be vaping as well. Just saying. Your lungs are already pretty fucked up.
Well, imagine that.
Yeah. So Dr. Ganga Girish, who treated the woman, said the rising popularity of e-cigarettes, also known as vapes, is partly due to the misconception that they are safer than traditional cigarettes. Not a misconception, actual truth. Although firm conclusions will depend on studies, this case suggests the acute adverse effects of vapes might trigger complications of sickle cell disease, especially with asthma as a comorbidity, 2 or more conditions at the same time. I would say if you have either one of those conditions, you probably shouldn't be inhaling stuff into your lungs.
I would say make an educated decision, right? So we need to know, comma, so do you. Jesus.
And yes, Stephen, the air in India is fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will put that on screen so people can see. Yeah, the air in India is fucked up. Yes, that's true. According to the report, the woman stayed in hospital for 7 days and has suffered no long-term effects from the vaping. Sickle cell disease is the most common genetic disorder worldwide and in the UK. Why is it worldwide and in the UK?
Because they're special.
With 12 to 15,000 affected individuals in Britain.
I don't know.
Isn't the part of the world, Kevin? I mean,
I imagine they are. Well, they sometimes are their own thing. I don't know. They got the O's and the U's all in their shit. I don't know.
I mean, obviously they can't spell words, but you know, they're saying.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, you're wearing my patience.
The British are coming. The British are coming. The British are coming.
The British are coming.
Yeah. Here, Kevin. Let's open this last one here.
The flight attendant's coming.
Then we have to go to Rumble. Oh, fucker.
What? Fucker.
It's a broken link. I have to go back over here.
What are you doing tonight with them damn broken links?
Oh, I tried something new because I didn't want to open the YouTube window.
Jason went to bed. Michelle's going to bed.
And they've met. I mean, the Rumble bits that we're going to talk about tonight are super awesome. I'm telling you.
Are they fire? Are they? Yeah.
They are straight fire, Kevin.
James. Oh, I never heard of that as a kid. I didn't. I never.
There was nobody. I mean, every kid that I went to school with ate peanut butter for lunch every. I mean,
I just never knew it. Maybe I was sheltered. I heard about bees. You're allergic to bees.
That was a thing. That was a thing.
I understood that.
Most of the people that I know that was allergic to bees back in those days, though, had been people that had been stung many times and developed an allergy because they had been stung many times.
I knew a kid with epilepsy, and him and his mom schooled me at his house one day about it. So if I was ever with him and something happened, what to do.
You didn't have an EpiPen then.
No, we didn't. But you know, go to the neighbor, get the whatever. Walking to and from wherever we were, it never happened, but at least I was told. Is it up?
All right, here we go. Let's look at this one. Yeah, let's share this one.
Peanut butter.
Scientists warn burning candles and vaping causes toxic air indoors.
I've got tweets older than me about this.
Poor indoor air quality has been linked to lung diseases like asthma, COPD, and lung cancer.
Oh, yeah. Keep spraying
Scientists
that
have warned burning scented candles, vaping, and using cleaning products can cause indoor air pollution.
They're adding the vaping in there.
The Royal Society of Chemistry said there are inadequate regulations around some products that could be impacting indoor air quality. Professor Nicola Carslaw, professor of indoor air chemistry at the University of York, said a wide range of factors can affect the indoor air quality of someone's home, workplace, or school. But there is a lack of data and statutory targets for indoor air pollution comparable with those that exist for outdoor air, which could be having a detrimental effect on public health. Now, Kevin, when I was a kid, if you stood outside of the girls' bathroom in between classes,
White Rain,
the massive amounts of Aquanet that was going on in that room.
I love me some White Rain.
You remember the pink hairspray can?
Oh my God, yes.
That stuff was like shellac. Like those girls were.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the mid to
and
late
the guys had Dracar now. Come on,
right?
You gotta give it up in Old Spice.
Oh no, I went to school with a kid that thought that he should wear half a bottle of Polo. It smells awful to begin with. That's like the worst cologne ever. It's like the horrible teenage boy smell. I mean, it's. But
I smelled like cigarettes and leather. That's all I could be. That was just.
I never used any product other than deodorant.
Yeah, just Right Guard or whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those girls had their hair like.
I hope so, Ed. I do.
7 to 8 inches taller than their head, and if you sat behind them in class, you could get away with sleeping at your desk.
Yes,
because you could be obscured by the massive amounts of hair.
You could get high from the fumes.
That too.
Really? I mean,
so
God,
yeah, I don't disagree that. I don't hang around teenagers now, but I'm assuming that many of the same things.
I haven't seen it.
Occur now. I mean, maybe not the hairspray so much, but all of the cologne and the body sprays and we didn't have Axe body spray.
They did that a little bit. It wasn't too bad, but they did do that a little. So, you're the very beginning of this is you got candles. You got Johnson & Johnson. You got the waxes now. You got the all the cleaning fluids, all this other shit.
Pine Sol, Clorox.
Everything. Yeah. Just think of the little Airwick bullshit store you got over in the corner. You said you've got those throughout your home, right?
Oh no, the ones that the wife have are like oil dispenser thingies.
Right. So to me, the same thing. I'm not saying those are worse or better. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Do you in your house? But if you're going to spray Lysol for 15 minutes throughout your home, you're not breathing in perfectly clean air. And ladies, if you got your candle going, I don't give a fuck how much pumpkin spice you stick in your fucking air. It's not perfect.
No, don't be picking on the basic bitch stuff, man. I'm telling you.
You could bounce a pencil off their hair.
You're going to get us in trouble.
So
there are a lot of things you could bounce off their hair, but certain things they don't really like it if you get it in their hair.
If you're going to have those, see how the segue continues,
or on their face. I'm just saying,
to those chemicals, if you're going to subject yourself to those chemicals, Patrick, then certainly you ought to know about it. And I've put links on that shit forever. Anyway,
yeah,
I think Dr. Gardner has as well, by the way. Just so you know, indoor air quality.
I'm gonna print that out and put it on the counter for my wife to see in the morning because she's already eaten supper and went to bed. She came in from work like right after we started the show. So
yeah,
but I'm gonna put it on the counter so that she can see that all of her hairspray products or not hairspray products, all the air freshener products are actually causing the air in the house to be dirtier.
Just think about it though.
Raj, why are you telling me to be careful?
Nobody cares.
I'm just saying that girls don't like it when you get certain things on their face or in their hair. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you don't fling your spaghetti sauce at them now, but it'd be nice. So, all these people that are saying, and they all got the cans of crap everywhere. There may be some environmentally friendly product today. I don't know. I don't care. I use what I use.
But you get us in trouble. All right, boys and girls.
It's almost bedtime.
We're going over to the Rumbles now. We have a few pieces that we need to talk about over there, and I don't feel comfortable talking about them over here. So,
is there a lawsuit involved in that?
There might be. You never know. There is a lawsuit. There is a lawsuit in regards to social media and the government working together to silence people.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I'm talking about
the Supreme Court ruled that the federal government should not be coordinating with social media to block certain points of view.
Good.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna we'll
got
be
2
back
minutes, right?
In a few minutes. Yeah, we're gonna let me get
Right.
right.
Get the rumbles.
If you got to go to the potty, now would be the time.